Good morning. Happy post-Thanksgiving. Please be my echo. Oh, we give thanks.
Oh, we give thanks.
For this precious day.
For this precious day.
For all gathered here.
For all gathered here.
And those far away.
For those far away.
For this life we share.
For this life we share.
With love and care.
With love and care.
Oh, we give thanks.
Oh, we give thanks.
For this precious day.
For this precious day.
Oh, we give thanks.
Oh, we give thanks.
For this precious day.
For this precious day.
For those gathered here. And those far away.
Those far away.
For this time we share.
For this time we share.
With love and care.
With love and care.
Oh, we give thanks.
Oh, we give thanks.
For this precious day.
For this precious day.
Oh, we give thanks.
Oh, we give thanks.
For this precious day.
For this precious day.
For those gathered here. And those far away.
Far away.
For this life we share.
For this life we share.
With love and care.
Love and care.
Oh, we give thanks.
Oh, we give thanks.
For this precious day.
For this precious day.
Good morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of the South Hills, also known as Sunnyhill. We're delighted that you could join us for this service. Our mission at Sunnyhill is to create a more just and compassionate community within and beyond our walls. My name is Ella McGaw, and I serve as a worship associate for this congregation. If you're a newcomer or visitor to our congregation, please go to sunnyhill.org and click on the button that says New to Sunnyhill to receive more information about us and to receive our weekly email newsletter. Also, if you'd like to be greeted as a newcomer after the service, please take a red mug, and members will seek you out to make sure you are warmly welcomed. If you're joining us online today, please say hello or good morning in the comments on Facebook or YouTube. We'd like to hear from you and extend a welcome to you as well. We welcome children of all ages to our service. For quiet play, we have a children's area here in the sanctuary. For louder activities, we have a nursery just outside the corner entrance. We also have a comfort room accessible through the back hallway from which you can still hear and see the service. A gentle reminder to everyone, please silence your cell phones and other electronic devices so that we can enjoy the service uninterrupted by buzzing or ringing. Today's sermon is titled, Giving Thanks in Thankless Times. The great Christian contemplative Meister Eckhart famously said, "If the only prayer you ever say in your entire life is thank you, it will be enough." Of the various kinds of prayers, prayers of thanksgiving might be the most powerful. How do we practice giving thanks even in challenging times? Our opening words were written by Jane Malden, and they're in the form of a responsive reading. After each line I read, please respond by saying, "We give thanks this day." For our community gathered here, for the spirit that calls us together and drew us to this place, we give thanks this day. For moments we have shared with others, for times when we have reached out across barriers of distance and fear, for times when others have reached out to us, for moments when we have discovered another along our path, we give thanks this day. For this community of celebration and growth, introspection and solitude, and for those moments of that peace which passes all understanding, we give thanks this day. For our gathering together out of distant places, for our weaving together out of many separate selves this hour of celebration and worship, we give thanks this day. Please join me in saying the words to light our chalice. We light our chalice as a symbol of the light of love and the warmth of this community.
Please rise now and body your spirit to join in singing our opening hymn, For the Earth Forever Turning. For the earth forever
Good morning. It's time for our story. So if there are any children who would like to come forward, please come up now. Come on up, there's still room. We've got room over here. Yeah, it's great to see all of you today. This is a story about a famous chef. Do you all know what a chef is? Gordon Ramsay is a chef. A chef is someone who cooks food and does it really well. Often they cook at restaurants or they lead cooking schools. And chefs are the best in the world at doing what they do, which is cooking and preparing food for meals. Well, once there was a famous chef who was known far and wide for the quality of the meals that she prepared. She ran her own cooking school, and every now and then, about once a month, she would invite people to come and have one of her meals. It was an invitation only kind of thing, very exclusive. And the people that came paid a lot of money to eat one of the meals prepared by the chef and her students. This is a different person. So this is a person that exists honestly only in this story. She does, as much as anyone exists anywhere. So what happened is that she often went out to find new foods and new things to cook. She would go on long trips and sample the local cuisine, the local food, wherever she stopped, to get new ideas about things that she might cook herself. One day when she was coming back from one of these tasting excursions, she found that she had lost her way and had to stop to ask for directions to a hotel. It was getting dark and she knew that she wouldn't make it home and she needed to find a place to stay. She stopped at this little house at the edge of a woods and she came in and she was greeted by this little family, a mother and her 2 children. And they welcomed her warmly and said, you know, there aren't any hotels really anywhere near here, but why don't you come in, share a meal with us, and you can spend the night here. So she did that, and she watched this family prepare this meal together. The mother brought this lovely smelling casserole out of the oven. The son was tossing this fresh salad, and the daughter was slicing this freshly baked bread. And they sat down at the meal together, and they had this little ritual that they did that the chef joined in on. The mother would say, for the blessing of this food, and the children would say, we give thanks. Mother would say, for the beautiful sunset and for the possibility of an even more beautiful tomorrow, and the children would say, we give thanks. And the mother would say, for the warmth of family and friendship and all that we share together. And this time the children and the chef joined in and said, we give thanks. And they started eating the meal, and as they ate, they shared stories about their day, and they shared memories about other meals they had shared. And the chef was amazed because every bite of food she took was more delicious than the last. It was the best meal she had ever had. After the meal was over, they all washed the dishes and went to bed. The next morning before she took off, the chef asked the mother if she could have the recipes for the meal that she had made the evening before. The mother was very flattered, but said, of course you can. And so she wrote down all the directions and the ingredients and handed them to the chef, and she was on her way. Well, when the chef got back to her cooking school, she was really excited, and she handed out the recipes to her students and said, please prepare these exactly as they are described on these recipes. And we're going to have one of our dinner parties tomorrow night and invite the usual guests to enjoy this beautiful, wonderful, delicious food. Well, the students did that. They made everything exactly according to the recipe. People came in, sat at the beautiful, well-adorned, well-set tables. They were served the food. And the chef was bitterly disappointed. The food was okay, but the meal wasn't nearly as good as the meal that she had shared with the family. So the next day, she asked one of her students to go find the woman who had prepared this original meal and ask if she could come in and sort of give them a lesson in how to make this food properly. The woman did come in, and she said, well, when you made this meal, did everyone who was there work on it together? And the chef said, well, no. And the woman said, did everyone give thanks for the meal and express their gratitude for everything that we have? And the woman said, well, no. And the woman said, well, and during the meal, did you all share stories about your own lives? And the chef said, you know, not really. We were all kind of quiet, just concentrating on the food. And the mother said, well, that is the problem. To enjoy a meal, it's not so much about the ingredients, but it's what you do during that meal, how it's prepared, how you speak to each other, how you share gratitude for one another and for what you have. And from that time on, the chef started doing things in a different way. Instead of having very fancy tables, she would invite guests and they would all join in the preparation of the food. They would concentrate more on the experience rather than on the food itself. And that, in the end, made all the difference. And so it is with us. It's really not that everything has to be perfect for us to enjoy a meal. It's that we have to be with each other in a way that makes things special for everyone. With that, we will sing you out to your RE classes.
As you go, may joy surround you. As you go, go in peace. Know our love is with you always. As you go, may joy surround you. As you go in peace. Know our love is with you always. As you go. I'm always grateful for our deep bench of musicians here at Sunnyhill. Love getting to sing with Doug every week. And I'm really grateful today that my kiddo, Cadence, agreed to join me on this song, and that Adrian will be playing something later from Carol Carl's granddaughter, which is cool. I'm gonna cry all alone in this room. Don't ask me why, it's just that I need to. I'll feel the sorrow and I'll feel the pain, but I will be grateful at the end of the day. I'm gonna walk it myself through these storms in my body, through the high water hell, and I will press on, be what it may. day. I will be a witness to the sorrows I see. I will not feel at ease. I will not feel at peace when the world leaves me sleepless. Then I'll be awake, and I will be grateful at the end of the day. I will be strong and stronger still, torn from my hopes and worn from my will. When I speak my truth, then you'll hear me say that I am grateful at the end of the day. I will be a mother, and I will learn to teach all the love in the world and the dangers it keeps. I will give of my heart and to show you the way. I will be grateful at the end of the day.
Good morning, everybody. There are many among us going through difficult, worrisome times. Worries about children, jobs, and the current state of our country and the world, and about our own mental health and how we deal with all that. My name is Judy Spiegel, and I'm a member of the pastoral care team. Our team's role is to offer you a personal connection, someone that you can talk to when you are going through difficult times and just need someone to listen and be there with you. We all go through difficult times. And it's important that we pull together during those times. So I would hope that you would reach out if you find yourself in that position. Because I believe that it's our personal connections with one another that bind this very special community together And that's what makes Sunnyhill so special to me. As most of you know, Joys and Sorrows can be submitted online via the Wednesday Beat. You've just got to scroll down to the very bottom and then look for the quick links and the joys and concerns, and it's easy to do. Or you can fill out a paper like this out in the lobby on your way in. This is the time in the service where we share joys and sorrows submitted by members of our congregation. We share the things that we're celebrating and the things that we're mourning so that they need not be held alone. After each joy or sorrow that I read, please respond with me by saying, "We hold you in our hearts." I have 2 sorrows. One is from Betty Clark, and she says, "Asking for prayers and love for my godmother and family friend, Kelly Marcino Everett. Kelly has been battling aggressive lung cancer for a year now. On Wednesday, she was moved to her home in Bourne, Massachusetts for hospice care. Please send your love." To Betty, her godmother, and her friend, we hold you in our hearts. And I have a grief submitted by Jim. Dear Sunnyhill members and friends, I am sad to report that Gloria Snyder died Wednesday morning, November 26th, while in hospice care at Concordia of the South Hills. Gloria, a founding member of Sunnyhill, hosted the very first organizational meeting of this congregation in her home in 1965. Over the years, Gloria served Sunnyhill in virtually every possible capacity, including serving on the search committee that brought me here as a minister. To say that Gloria will be greatly missed would be an understatement. If it were not for Gloria's hard work, persistence, Sunnyhill would probably not exist. We are currently working on scheduling a memorial service for her. More details to follow. May we hold Gloria's family and all of us who loved her in our hearts during this difficult time. So, to Jim, to all of us who loved her, to her family who have taken extraordinary care of her, we hold you in our hearts. As we listen to today's musical meditation, we invite anybody who feels moved to do so to come forward, take a candle, light it, and place it in the sand, and then return quietly to your seat.
Before we go on, I'd like to light a special candle in memory of Gloria Snyder. As I said in my message, she is one of the reasons that I came here. She was on the search committee that brought me here. She and I co-facilitated chalice circles, which we now call sharing circles, during my first several years here. Gloria, it may not be known to many of you, but she was our best fundraiser in the last capital campaign. I'm not sure how she did it, but she wrangled some really sizable gifts out of some difficult customers, including her ex-husband and a former member of the church who hadn't been involved in decades. She was so devoted to this congregation. It really meant the world to her, and she meant the world to a lot of us. She was, in many ways, our founding mother, our matriarch, the backbone of this congregation, and she will be sorely missed. I would also like to acknowledge some members of the pastoral care team who were so kind and loving to Gloria in these final months and years when she was unable to leave her apartment much. Judy Spiegel spent time with her, I think, pretty much every week, helping her sort through some things, but also just spending some time listening to Gloria, which meant a lot to her. I also know that Joe Barker kept up with her, as he also lives in Concordia and was frequently with her. And Jean Ferlin also made sure to touch base with Gloria on a regular basis. It's such a joy to be part of a congregation that does such a good job of taking care of one another and honoring our elders with the respect that they are due. I light this candle in memory of Gloria Snyder and the great light that she brought into this world, into this congregation. Please join me in the spirit of meditation or prayer. We pause now during this hour to give thanks, not out of a sense of obligation or rote ritual, not out of a sense of guilt for what we have, not out of a sense of shame for what we have not done. Rather, we give thanks for the sake of giving thanks, as a natural response to gifts freely given and received. We give thanks as a way of connecting to our own lives and to the life of our world. We give thanks in order to bring ourselves closer to the people who matter most to us, and to bring us closer to the selves we long to be. We pause now for a moment of silence in which to give thanks. May thanks rise up and flow out of us naturally each day. May thanks become for us a way of living. And may our thanks help us transform our lives as we work for healing and compassion in a world often marked by woundedness and despair. Amen. As you can probably tell, I'm recovering from a cold. 2 days ago, I didn't have a voice at all. Yesterday, I kind of sounded like Barry White, that R&B singer from the 1970s, for those of you who are old enough to remember, which didn't seem appropriate in the pulpit somehow. And today, I'm in a new place. I appreciate your patience and forbearance with me, as I may need to stop and have some sips of tea along the way. This poem, titled Gratefulness, was written by Dale Byron. Each day, the engine of my gratefulness must be coaxed and primed into action. Of course, like any old clunker, it would just as soon stay put. For even after the labored start beats the inertia and the plume of white smoke struggles upward, the same hills always appear, soaring daily, tall and ominous as before. There is the long, slow hill of aging, so gradual and smooth at first. And then that steep grade called the news. Yes, and always some mountain of a war looming out there, never too far in the distance. For even an old idea or feeling long abandoned might conspire to halt this fragile progress, valves sputtering, tires flattening, clutch slipping, but the old potato sound of the engine and all its mysterious fuel, for which I am truly grateful, somehow keeps stumbling along. Every year around Thanksgiving, people like me will remind you that this is the season of gratitude, that this is the time of year to take stock of all the things in your life for which you should be grateful. And I know that this admonition to be grateful can sometimes get tiresome or even annoying. No one can be grateful all the time. And in fact, there are many things in our lives and in our world that we should not be grateful for. We cannot and should not be grateful for violence, war, oppression, abuse, or exploitation. On a personal level, we cannot be grateful for the loss of a loved one, for betrayal, for bereavement. Gratitude helps us realize that there is goodness in the world, that there truly are things that are great gifts in our lives. And gratitude requires developing an enhanced awareness of what is actually going on within and around us, paying attention in a special way to both what we have and what we long for. In her book, Kitchen Table Wisdom, Rachel Naomi Remen tells the story of a woman who traveled to Hawaii with her husband for their wedding anniversary. The woman's husband, an organized and frugal man, had reserved compact cars to rent on each of the 4 islands that they were visiting well in advance of their trip. On arriving on the Big Island and presenting their reservation to the car rental desk, they were told that the economy car that they had reserved was not available. The woman was alarmed as she watched her husband's face redden as he prepared to do battle with the rental agent. The clerk didn't seem to notice. "I am so sorry, sir," he said. "Will you accept a substitute for the same price? We have a BMW convertible available." Barely mollified horrified. Her husband put their bags in this beautiful silver sports car and they drove off. Amazingly, perhaps incredibly, the same thing happened at each of the islands. After the BMW, they had been given an Infiniti, then a Lexus, and finally a Mercedes coupe, all with the most sincere apologies from the rental clerks. The vacation, the woman thought, was absolutely wonderful, just like a dream, better than they could have planned. And on the plane back, she turned to her husband, thanking him for all the planning and everything that he had done to arrange this time. Yes, he said, it really was nice. It's just too bad they never had the right car for us. Remen concludes the story by saying, gratitude is about keeping an open mind. It is about not having your mind so set on an apple that you can't be grateful when given a luscious pear. One of the best and most enduring sources of gratitude and one of the best ways to awaken to the here and now is to be immersed and connected with the natural world. And perhaps no one has been more physically and spiritually present to the natural world than the poet Mary Oliver. Oliver wrote beautifully about nature, not as an outsider, but as someone fully immersed in the world of nature, which is very much in line with our UU value, affirming the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. And Mary Oliver wrote about her inner life in a way that was deeply spiritual and yet very much grounded in physical experience, which goes along with our UU emphasis on reason and experience as sources of truth. For Mary Oliver, gratitude was an inherent part of the natural world when we allow ourselves to be open to the natural cycles that both delineate and permeate our lives. In this poem titled Fall Song, Oliver articulates a sense of gratitude deeply rooted in the natural world that sees and appreciates beauty, not just in the lovely flowers of spring, but in the moldering of fall and in the cycle of death and rebirth that is all around us. She writes, another year gone, leaving everywhere its rich, spiced residues, vines, leaves, the uneaten fruits crumbling damply in the shadows, unmattering back from the particular island of this summer, this now that now is nowhere except underfoot, moldering in that black subterranean castle of unobservable mysteries, roots and sealed seeds and the wanderings of water. This I try to remember when time's measure painfully chafes. For instance, when autumn flares out at the last, boisterous and like us longing to stay. How everything lives, shifting from one bright vision to another, forever in these momentary pastures. In the end, all we have are these momentary pastures that Mary Oliver mentions, along with those unobservable mysteries that are happening underfoot all the time. And all of it, when noticed and considered, can be a source for deep and abiding gratitude. Even the most mundane aspects of our everyday lives, in fact, sometimes especially the most mundane aspects of our everyday lives, can be a source of wonder and a kind of prayer of thanksgiving. In this poem by Laura Kosicki, titled simply Prayer, we see the way our experiences of the sacred and the profane, the holy and the mundane, are wrapped up in each other and can be the cause for spontaneous prayers of thanksgiving. Kosicki writes, "The windshield's dirty, the squirter stuff's all gone, so we drive on together into a sun-gray pane of grime and dust. My son puts the passenger seat back as far as it will go, closes his eyes. I crack my window open for a bit of fresher air. It's so incredibly fresh out there. Rain over, puddles left in ditches, black mirrors with our passing reflected in them, I suppose, but I'd have to pull over and kneel down at the side of the road to know. The day ahead. For this, the radio doesn't need to be played. The house we used to live in still exists in a snapshot in which it yellows in another family's scrapbook. And a man on a bicycle rides beside us for a long time, very swiftly, until finally he can't keep up, but before he slips behind us, he salutes us with his left hand. A reminder that every single second, that every prisoner on death row, that every name on every tombstone, that everywhere we go, that every day like this one will be like every other, having never been, never ending. So thank you. And oh, I almost forgot to say it. Amen. Over the past year, I've tried to find ways to turn each of my days into something like a prayer, whether it's a prayer of thanksgiving or a prayer embodied in actions that help create compassion and justice in our community and in the larger world. Like many of you, I would guess, at the end of last year, I found myself feeling hopeless and despairing. In the wake of last year's election, it was difficult to find much to be thankful for. And each day's news brought more and more anxiety and fear. So rather than starting each day with my usual doom scrolling through news sites, I began a new practice of writing a poem each morning before I do anything else. They're not all great poems. In fact, I honestly don't know that most of them are even good poems. But each of these poems is an exercise in centering and orienting myself in the natural world and in my own physical and spiritual surroundings and experiences. I will tell you that it's made a huge difference in how I feel when I start each day. Like any spiritual practice, trying to write a poem each morning can be challenging, and I find myself sometimes chafing at the task. But it is when something is challenging that you sometimes know it is worthwhile. Here is one of my morning poems, titled Sometimes. Sometimes you get stuck going around and around in circles, not just getting nowhere fast, but seeing exactly the same things over and over without end. Sometimes you get stuck digging deeper and deeper into the ground, not finding buried treasure or insights, but sinking further and further from view, from light, from air. Sometimes you get stuck climbing up and up, thinking you're getting somewhere, but never having looked around. You one day notice you haven't gotten anywhere at all. Sometimes you just stop all motion and look around and breathe and look again and give thanks for being there. And notice that you're not alone. And then the real work begins. Sometimes it is just the act of pausing and breathing that can bring us to a place of being thankful for what is around us, for where we are, wherever that is, for being where we are with others near us. But it all begins with noticing. It begins with being spiritually awake enough to notice things that we might otherwise miss. Every now and then during the holidays, if we slow down enough to notice it, gratitude can appear to us in a way that is both beautiful and meaningful. In one of his essays, author and Unitarian Universalist minister Robert Fulghum writes and reflects about an appreciation and gratitude for leftovers, especially Thanksgiving leftovers. He says, let's face it, Thanksgiving is sometimes a strain. You have to dress up and behave, and there's all that ritual fuss and bother with too many people and too much food. Exhausting. But 2 nights later is a different story. There's good news in the fridge by then. Solid gold leftovers. The pecan pie has ripened and congealed now, so you can pick up a big piece with your hand. The cranberry sauce has matured, and the dressing has transmogrified into something that would give truffles and caviar a run for their money. This is the way dressing ought to taste. A true prayer of thanksgiving is in order. This is not a group activity. It is a private, religious experience. In the holy solitude of the midnight hour, you are taking communion with the spirits of bird and fruit and field. The best moments of past feasts come to mind, and it is at times like these you have no doubt that life is good, that your family, all tucked away in their beds, are royal folk, and that grace abounds. Fulghum goes on, I'm not often aware that I'm happy, but I often remember that I have been happy, especially when I sit in my kitchen, wrapped in an invisible patchwork quilt made of the best moments of yesterdays. These precious things, these leftovers from living on, remain to serve as survival rations for the heart and soul. You can't entirely live off them, but life is not worth living without them. For what remains of this Thanksgiving weekend and throughout the coming holiday season, I hope and pray that we may cultivate an awareness and appreciation of the gifts and opportunities that surround us, both the new ones and the leftovers, and that we might savor them all. May it be so. Amen.
Please rise again and body your spirit to join in singing We Sing Now together. We sing
beneficiary for the month of November is the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank, whose mission is to ensure that anyone who needs a healthy meal can get one. The food bank provides food and meals to individuals and organizations in 11 counties in southwest Pennsylvania. Given the current economic and political challenges, for those with limited means, supporting the food bank is more important now than ever before. You can make a gift online on our website or by text at 412-324-3130. We'll be passing our offering baskets for cash and checks in just a moment. If you're writing a check, please make it out to UUCSH and put "share the plate" in the memo line. In case you didn't catch it, when Mary mentioned earlier, that piece was played by Adrienne Gerber, who is the daughter of Carol Carl, another of our founding members who died in recent years. And it was written by Carol's granddaughter, Liz Peters. One of the things I'm really grateful in this congregation is the way multiple generations of Sunnyhillers still have a presence and still contribute in meaningful ways. Please join me in saying the words to extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Just a few brief announcements before we go. Children that are interested in participating in the children's choir, who will be singing at our Music of the Season service in a few weeks. There will be a rehearsal immediately after the service in the choir room. I guess this is not so much for the children as it is for their parents, right? Yeah. But yeah, so that will take place right after the service. Also, please be aware that we're going back to 2 services starting next week and the following week. So December 7th and December 14th will both be services at 9 and 11:15. And also, don't forget that One World is coming up this coming Saturday, December the 6th. In addition, Sunnyhill is in charge of the ice vigil that's taking place this Friday at 8:30 a.m. in front of the Pittsburgh Ice Headquarters at 3000 Sydney Street on the south side, near the South Side Works. Anyone who would like to participate in that, we invite to do so. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask me. We'll close with these words. And now we take our leave. Before we gather here again, may each of us bring happiness into another's life. May we each be surprised by the gifts that surround us. May each of us be enlivened by constant curiosity. And may we remain together in spirit till the hour we meet again. And may we go in peace.